Doubles and coffee. Y'all thought it was just $250 million that the Pnm went by Scotiabank to borrow on March 26th to pave road in a frenzy to Mamaguy you, to try to fool you to vote for the oppression of the Pnm, the corruption of the Pnm, the recusals of the Pnm, the disrespect of the Pnm, the lack of medicine in the hospital. You thought it was just $250 million? Well, you would be wrong. There's another loan taken out on March 20th by the Pnm cabinet of Stuart Richard Young from First Citizens Bank this time for $250 million to pave road again. Not NIBDEC this time, for NIDCO. So $250 million plus $250 million, $500 million to come now on the eve of an election to pave road because they feel all your notice. They feel by paving road willy-nilly all over the place, paving around dog, paving around park car, $500 million, but they don't want to give workers the money. They don't want to put medicine in the hospital. They don't want to give the children laptop. They don't want to get your food card. They cut back on school feeding. They cut back on sport budget. They cut back on everything. But to try and stay in power, to try and stay and keep their recusals, 137 recusals for Stuart Richard Young alone, and next 100 for Faris Al-Rawi, Al-Johnny Sukaran, and the ministers and the cabinet enriching themselves and their financiers and their friends and their close people. Faris Al-Rawi giving contract from his ministry to his campaign manager, his best friend, his advisor, everybody, his cousin and all. But they come now, $500 million to pave road in election. If that alone don't tell you that them had to go, because why you have to pave road now? Paving road is a normal function of the government. That should be done on an ongoing basis. If you care about people, if you care about citizens, that should be a regular thing. $250 million loan at 6.24% from Scotiabank, and a next $250 million loan taken by the Pnm cabinet decision maker made on March 20th. And next $250 million from First Citizens Bank. You know who had to pay that back? Not Stuart Richard Young, not Camille Dunce, whoever she named, not Marvelous Marva, not Colm Dwayne Inbut. You and your children had to pay back that for the paving frenzy that Pnm doing, because they didn't care. 9 years they were gaining experience. 9 years you were suffering while they were learning on the job. 9 years they did nothing but enrich themselves. And now they come in with $500 million to pave road, hoping that you will vote for them. Listen, the next 10,000 in every 2 constituencies that hear this now, reject the Pnm. Show the Pnm that their disrespect and arrogance, their lack of heart, their lack of empathy, their lack of sympathy, their greed will be punished on April 28th. Vote them out in a vengeance. Savitri, Keisha, everybody, vote them out. And Shamfa? Wait, stop the presses. Hot off the press now. Since November 2024, the Pnm government was advised of the irresponsibility and the lack of available funds to do certain projects in works and infrastructure. But just so, on the eve of an election, a month before election, the cabinet approves not only the initial requested amount that was denied by the Ministry of Planning and Development because they were overextended and the availability of funds was questionable and could not be confirmed. The Pnm to pave road to get vote not only approved $250 million loan at NIBDEC from Scotiabank, but a further $250 million from First Citizens Bank to rush to pave road to try to get your votes. Watch them pave. Watch them waste money. So just to be clear what you saw there, this Pnm was told you have money owed, you have ongoing projects, it's irresponsible to spend more hundreds of millions There's not available funds for that. So therefore, slow your roll. Do the work properly. Do it efficiently. Do not waste money. So the PNM went externally and borrowed 500 million, half a billion dollars for the incoming government to have to pay out so they could rush to pave roads and pay their contractors so that the contractors could have money for election for them to try and buy a victory that is impossible because the people are united against them. That is the most irresponsible, ridiculous, corrupt action, but that is normal PNM. So you know about it. Get out there and vote them out. Some of you who are still going to vote them with this one, you must vote them out because you had to pay back that irresponsible spend. You and your children, they wasted your money trying to fool you to try and vote for them when they were told you have work going on. You have payments to be made to contractors. You cannot, and the money cannot be found. Them going to find it, borrow it from Scotiabank, 250 million, and from First Citizens Bank, 250 million, to pay $500 million of road works in 6 weeks. That is PNM. Red, ready, and irresponsible. Red, ready, and on April 28th, removed. Bless.